All right. So I think it's all right, this is Wednesday afternoon. One. Okay. So this is our usual stream. This is the CPI live market, live trading stream. Right. And it's a session where we get to predict, all right, but not necessarily predict, where we get to react to the outcome from the CPI news release. We are going to be reacting to whatever data comes out from CPI, CPI release, okay, which is in the next, I think, 27 minutes, right? In the next 27 minutes, we're going to be getting figures or data from live NFP CPI release. Guys, this is basically what we're going to be doing. Just going to take a few minutes, wait for a call. As soon as we have a lot, couple more people to go. All right, hold on. Check in. Okay, so guys, if you're not in the community, the Telegram community, FBS Analytics and Education Community Telegram, you just don't know what you're actually missing a whole lot. Right? But having said that, as usual, you guys know what we do. Whenever we trade fundamental releases like this, the first thing that we do is we want to define um, our trading strategy. All right, the trading strategy that we use is called the straddle trading strategy. All right, so basically what we do is that we straddle trade. All right, we position buy stop and sell stop orders. All right, which are pending orders. All right, so we have a buy stop above the range of the consolidation. We have a sell stop below the range of the consolidation. Right? And in order to protect ourselves from whipsaw movements and stuff like that, slippage and other forms of limiting situations is the reason why I naturally advocate that you use pending orders. All right. So along with the pending orders that you set, all right, you also need to use trailing stops to protect those pending orders. All right, such that once price activates any of your pending orders, you can rest assured that the trailing stop is going to take you out in profit if price decides to do otherwise, all right, or to turn around and start going against you. So first of all, for Euro USD, we need to define the trading range. Okay. Let's see. Trying to see. Okay, that's a line chart. I'm trying to see. Just hold on. I'm trying to define the area of the consolidation. You may not be able to see the line on the line chart or support. All right, this is the nearest. Yes, Gianni, we use between 20 to 50 points. All right, between 20 to 50 points, which is between 2 to 5 pips. All right, so your trailing stop is going to be between 2 to 5 pips. In essence, that's what we're talking about. Okay. Okay, so if we have our range, hold on, let me. So in essence, this is our ending of I stop there on that will be T3. Then for sell stop, we're gonna have this as 1, 2. So, the interesting thing is for those who attended the Monday market review session where we were doing the live analysis of gold, EU, GU, and the likes. Right, I recall that I did a breakdown. During that breakdown, I was showing that my expectation overall for commodities like, say, GBP USD, Euro USD, gold. Right, I broke down my expectations for this commodity. I believe it made a lot of sense because so far price has since given over 400 pips in profit from those analyses that we did together on Monday. All right, so that's why I usually urge you guys that do not miss out on the Monday market review on the Telegram community. All right, it's absolutely it's going to help you. All right, you're going to learn a lot of amazing things that will help you become okay. All right, Michael, I've also said this a few times. Trailing stop cannot be placed on phones. So it's why I recommend that when you come for this kind of streams, all right, I recommend that you watch the stream on your PC, all right, or you watch the stream on your phone and then place the trades on your PC, all right. But I recommend that your trades must be taken on your PC so that you can take advantage of the trailing stop feature. All right, so here we are again, GBP USD. Last week was an eventful. Let's define our range. Hold on. Line chart. Also, right. So those are the nearest pivots based on the line chart. Okay. Although I know I shouldn't be explaining this because it's privileged information. Right. So it's not something that I should be sharing, but I just felt quite generous. I'm feeling quite generous. All right. Do it. Okay. So I think we can just have this as a buy stop TP. Sell. I think we can stop TP1. TP3. Gold. I think we have about 18 more minutes. 18 more minutes. Let's quickly look at gold. All right. Station. Okay. Have a buy stop on 2. Sell stop. Ogu Fred, how do you set trailing stop on phone? I'm interested. I would like to learn that. I would like to learn that. I've never, ever seen a scenario where such happened. But of course, if it's something possible, you can just explain so that Michael can be able to set that up on his. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Gold to USD JPY. Nah. Okay. Buy stop is BS, sell stop is SS. But like I've always told you guys on this call, if price should activate your pending orders before the news, all right? If price triggers your pending orders before the news, run. Close that trade immediately. All right? Close that trade what? Immediately. And that's why I always recommend that you guys do not place these positions so early. All right? Always place your position, say 3-4 minutes before the news. Okay? So that the chances that price will activate your order due to a manipulation will be reduced. All right? You don't want price to trigger your order or activate your order and then instantly there's a reversal. All right? So please and please and please, guys, let's take note of that. Okay. That's I stop G 1.349. I always use the 1 hour time frame. And please don't forget, guys, your trailing stops are extremely, exceedingly important. Gianni, thank you so much. Gianni Potenza, thank you so much. Thank you. I typically use the art to hide my very round head. Right, my head is quite round. I have a very round face, right, so that it doesn't look so round. All right, someone thinks I'm probably egghead, Humpty Dumpty. So that's why. Put this on. All right, so buy stop 3344.01. Okay, sell stop is going to be 3321.47. All right, so now let's look at the fundamental possibilities or the possible fundamental outcome based on what the prediction for CPI is. All right, so the previous CPI was, month over month now was 0.2%. All right, and the forecast is 0.2%, which means that the forecast is that it remains exactly the same. All right, that's literally the forecast. So, which means that if the consumer price inflation in the United States, based on comparison between this month or this time last month and this time, that must have been April, all right? If based on that comparison, right, if the actual figure is higher than 0.2%, it means that the US dollar is stronger than perceived, right? It means that it is stronger than what the analysts perceived or what the conclusion of the analyst or the forecast of the analysts were, right? Which makes sense. But if it is lower than the expectation of the analyst, if it's lower than the forecast, which is 0.2%, it means that there is trouble in paradise, right? So the core CPI, the previous was 0.2%, the forecast is 0.3%. If it comes out any lower than that, then the US dollar is not going to be that strong. All right, then when we talk about CPI year over year, we're talking about CPI for May this year compared to CPI for May last year. All right, and CPI for May last year was 2.3%, right? By comparison now on a relative scale. And the forecast for the year on year, all right, is 2.5%. That's the year on year forecast for. When we talk about this, we want to sit back and look at what exactly is going on, all right? Because once the figures are released, once the data is released, if it aligns with the setups that we already have, then we call it a. I want to. All right, so that's where we are right now. That's where we. All right, for there's a reason why I'm not calling the others yet. I want to wait till like 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes before the stream. All right, to be honest. Stock is cheap. Thank you so much. You said there's nothing wrong with my hair. Thank you. Thank you. But I watched Humpty Dumpty on one of those YouTube channels because my baby was watching it. I saw the shape of Humpty Dumpty's head. Ah, that looks a lot like my head. Buy stop, sell stop for gold is currently displayed on your screen 3344.01. But like I said, I do not recommend that you place the orders until 3 minutes, between 3 to 5 minutes news. Why? Because sometimes a manipulation can activate your pending order. Price would immediately reverse. All right, so you don't want, trust me, you don't want. And don't forget your trailing stops extremely, extremely. You cannot buy or sell Iqbal because your margin is too low. Right? You do not have sufficient margin to buy or sell. And it also depends on the commodity. So what I would say is I'm guessing that your leverage is low, probably using 1:50, 1:100, or 1:200. Your leverage is low, which means that your margin is not, your free margin is not enough or sufficient to actually take a. Ajulo Damilola, if it's in line, all good for us. And if it's not, we are still fine. Do you get it? We're only using the data from the release as a confluence, right? It's not what our decision is based off. You get it now? That's not the basis for just a confluence. It's just something we want to add on as a confluence. All right, 7 minutes, 7 minutes, seven, seven. Iqbal, I think that could be the that could be 595 is not a lot of money, but able to just take a position. Maybe AU. All right, yeah, AU. Work on AU. Tunis, that's Euro USD for you. All right. Um, Timothy, I think I'm not sure it's 1.5 that you mean. I think you mean 1:500. 1:500 at least. Get you some. It will probably be maybe maximum of 1 or 2% on 0.01, but at least it should be able to. No, Timothy, you didn't need much. You didn't miss much. Oh, screen wave. No, unfortunately not today. Fortunately, I wouldn't want to do. We're simply trading EU, GU, and go. Guys, if you already placed your buy stop on gold, you may want to remove it now. All right, because like I told you, if price should activate your pending order before the news, that is always a sign that something is wrong. Always. It has never been a sign of a good thing. Wave, I'm not trading NASDAQ today because it's not part of what I intended to trade. EUG gold. If you're not interested in any of those, sorry, I can't help. Well, Timothy, the truth is confidence, boldness comes, it doesn't come at the beginning, all right? It takes some practice, it takes a kind of track record to be able to have confidence and boldness in approach. think I've paid my dues. So you guys remember that this box where I was drawn based off of the pivot region. I was drawn based off of the pivot region. Talked about the fact that price breaks out of that consolidation. Want to trigger an order immediately after that. I already Yusuf, please trade whatever your heart agrees with, right? Because I will not be responsible for whatever happens to that money. Your question sounds very much like a trap. It sounds very much like you want me to tell you, oh, go trade so and so and so. And then when you do, you want to be able to hold me as a scapegoat and say, oh, he was the one that told me to trade that commodity. I really didn't want to initiate. Right? So I don't want to be in that situation where you say, oh, but sir, you were the one that told me to go and trade that commodity. It's because of you that I traded it. No, trade it because of yourself. Fool. Normal, normal, normal. Get the gist. Thank you so much. Every minute, hey. All right, here we go. NFP in 1 minute. 1 minute. All right, it's about 30 something seconds to go. Oh, the 360. And now it's time to go. Euro USD 1.14466. Sell stop 1.14154. All right. EU buy stop triggered TP1, TP2, and TP3. Yes, EU is at TP3, EU is at TP3. Gold TP1, approaching TP2. But EU full TP, GU full TP. Are you making money? If you are not making money, you are only making noise. OPG. What are you telling me? What are you talking about? If you've made some money, I need you guys to just talk to me. Just talk to me in the chat box. Just talk to me in the chat box. Fabricio, let us start what? We already started. We already ended. We already started and ended. Remember what I told you guys about the figures for the CPI? You know, I told you if it was anything lower than 0.2%, then USD is cooked. CPI month on month came out at 0.1%, which was not just lower than the forecast, it was also lower than the previous. So, what are you telling me, bro? How much have you guys made? Let me know. Let me know in the chat box. Talk to me. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm the GOAT. Nah. Let's get it. So let me hear you. Let me hear you. Did you guys make some money? Fantastic. Patrick, you're welcome. Talk is cheap. You're welcome. Fabricio, I'm sorry you came late. Vibe Tunes, amazing. Yeah, 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 yeah. If you made some money, let's still hear you. That's TP123 on Euro USD. All right. GBP USD TP123, just like that. All right. Gold is approaching TP2, but I'm quite confident it's going to clear TP3. Remember what I told you guys? Um, our points of entries were defined carefully. All right. If you want to go and try this on your own, you probably just want to do buy stop, sell stop at any random position. You're most definitely or most likely going to lose. Right. I can trade straddle today because it took me many, many months of practice. All right. To be able to figure out exactly what works and what does not work. Okay. It took me time to figure out what works and what does not. Right. So I don't want you to assume that because I make it look easy. I don't want you to assume that it's that easy. It is not. Okay. It's something that has to be learned. You need to be taught how to get this to work for you. All right. So I think that's my one piece. Anyone who cares to listen. I'm just waiting for price to hit TP3 on gold and then we call it a day. All right, guys, gold is now at TP3, and you know this is a big consolation to those of us who NFP. You probably were not around last month. Markets, the fundamentals did not really move market a lot. All right, so to be very honest, guys, I think this is good enough consolation for the past 2 months of instability in the market. Right, so here's to a fantastic and amazing June. But see, I want you to notice something. You'll see that right here, all right, there's another pivot, there's another key pivot region on gold. So there's a very strong possibility that price is going to reverse shortly. I know it sounds crazy and somebody might not believe me, but I'm telling you for a fact, right? I'm telling you for a real fact that it's very possible that gold does something like this and then bounces back up. But for those who attended the session on that must have been Monday. All right. For those of you who were around on Monday, and I'm sure that you guys saw how Monday played out. It was, let me see if I can still share my. We had an interesting analysis. That was All right, so this was the gold analysis on Monday, right? And I was talking about the fact that price was going to have to take liquidity from this high. All right. I mentioned the fact that price was going to take liquidity from this high. Then it was going to return to this other block, all right, to find support. Okay, and I supported that based on our MAWPR strategy that I taught you guys. I think I taught that strategy on one of the Monday sessions months ago. All right, based on the MAWPR strategy, I told you guys that gold was definitely going to be bullish, right? And this was the region it was going to buy from. Okay, so if you check it, you'll see that right now. Let me see. Let me just. Yep, you see that right now, price has completed 1:5 risk to reward. All right, price has completed 1:5 risk to reward. So, guys, if you are not trading with FBS, I honestly want to tell you, you are missing a lot. Right? You've got no idea what you're missing if you're not trading with FBS. You have no idea. Our Telegram channel is packed full of amazing, amazing stuff, amazing resources. We have Monday sessions for everyone. We have sessions like this for the general public. And, we also have trainings, we have resources, materials, content, articles, signals, all right, or let me say trade ideas that we drop from time to time. So, guys, this is an invite. There's a link just below the video. All right, there's a link at the caption of this video that you can click and become a part of us in that community. Right? You get it. Timothy, you know these things now. You know these things now. I've been around. I've been around. All right, so let's just go back to at MetaTrader. I've marked out the region where I think price might try to rival region there. So I'm just going to fold my hands and see how price responds to that. So on that note, I want to say a big thank you to you. I love you guys to the bottom of my heart, or let me say from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the reason why we're able to do this again and again and again. All right. So thank you so much for joining me once again. The name remains Adetola Freeman, vibe now. Back after trader. Until Monday when I come your way again from the Telegram platform, I want to say God bless you. Have a fantastic rest of the trading week. Goodbye.